The situation that is surrounding Harley Reid, who has this evening been served with a please explain by the AFL for a middle finger gesture to someone in the crowd. Lloydy, you sat here last week and you were really fair and reasonable about how you would be approaching that. That's more hugging than anything else. A week later, another indiscretion, albeit minor. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, outside of giving the bird to someone in the crowd, my opinion last week was he's young. Let him go with it. We piled in too much because he had one poor game. But watching him for a second week, I didn't think his behaviour had changed, where his performance is being influenced in a negative way because he's wasting far too much energy, wanting to fight others, wrestle others, playing with a real chip on his shoulder, which is not helping his footy, like wanting to get in the face of McInerney when he didn't need to and things like that. So I would now get him involved as the coach, Andrew McQualter, this week and say, your footy's not great. What you were doing on weekends isn't helping what you're doing, and give him a stern warning. Like, go and watch Nick Dacos. I know where you're a different sort of player, but he focuses on nothing but the football and gets absolute everything out of himself. And I feel that if he continues to carry on like that and doesn't listen to, say, a McQualter or his team leaders, is he trying to self-sabotage himself and his career at the West Coast Eagles? Or is he just immature? Because I think that I've thought back to Jason Horne-Francis today, and Jason
and his time at North Melbourne,
where he didn't respect those around him. Yeah, this is. So
this is a couple of weeks ago, the first game against the Gold Coast.
Like half time, you're getting belted by 40 or 50 points, and he's chirping away. Like, to me, this
Oscar Allen, the captain, coming and consoles.
Which was fantastic. And I remember this is the same thing. Todd Goldstein, Jason Horne-Francis, but Jason didn't want to listen to anybody at North Melbourne. So I think it's a real test for West Coast Eagles and Jason and their relationship over the rest of this season. It's a must-watch for me. How much does he want to dig in?
It is a very similar comparison, Lloydy, because Jason Horne-Francis still had the 1 year of a contract to run, as Harley Reid does, under a different arrangement of there being a 3-year contract to be signed. And for you to be raising that as a fear right now, the parallels are stark when it comes to what the outcome was for the North situation.
Because the noise won't go away, that he doesn't want to be there. OK, so that's why I'm watching this extra closely about, does he listen and toe the line and be a professional right to the end, or does he get to a point where they go, you know what, he's a pain in the you-know-what and we should move him on while we can?
I'm interested in your words about, is he self-sabotaging?
Yes.
So you're saying from an external perspective, without all the necessary information that none of us actually have right now, you fear that there's an element of him not liking being over there so much that he's actually acting in a way which could help him get traded?
Yeah, like people talk around him around the huddles. He's disengaged at huddles.
At the quarter times and three-quarter times.
And breaks and all those sorts of things. Okay. And again, I'll be shocked if he isn't being called in by senior leaders and his coach if they let this behaviour continue, because it's not helping him.
When you refer to senior leaders, though, and we discussed this a couple of weeks ago on this program about the same matter, you've got a captain who's also determining his own future. How can he look him in the eye and say, what are you up to? We want you to stay, because he doesn't know if he's staying himself, Oscar Allen.
Yeah, and it's incredibly difficult. The frustrations of a 19-year-old, and we've said this before, we're asking for a mature head on a 19-year-old's shoulders. And you look at the scores on both of those edits, they're getting pounded. Those two guys have been the dominant players, which have probably carried sides to victory. And all of a sudden, you're being asked to be, as an 18 and 19-year-old, the difference maker in a side that's getting pounded. So a little bit of patience. I agree, Lloydy, where you're going with it, but I'm probably allowing even more patience. Who's the person at the club to guide him through it?
But I'm not questioning anything that he has to do any more with the football.
Yeah, but I reckon this is the first time he's experiencing any of this. And at 19...
But who is it, Jimmy? It's not the captain right now, because the captain doesn't know whether he's there.
Yeah, but my point being is, this is the first time he's going through this in his professional and sporting life as being... It's a real bloody struggle. So how do I deal with it? How did I used to deal with it? I'd take someone down to full forward and I'd just bully him and we'd get over the line. This is completely new. He's trying to work his way through it, so that's probably why he's acting out. He's probably thinking...
If he's told, though, play the ball, is it that difficult?
No, it's not that difficult. I'm just explaining why there's probably a sense of frustration, or we're seeing the bird or the silly free kicks, which he'll no doubt work through, but you don't know what you don't know. He's 18 months into an AFL career.